The holiday dinner table is indeed going to go crazy this year. This past election has really piqued my interest in politics. I really didn't care much in the past about it, but now I actually find it quite fun to think about. Enter Amir Odom, a black gay Trump voter. His videos are one of the most intriguing pieces of media I've consumed on politics. I've started watching his videos not only to learn more about social issues, especially from the other side, but also to evolve my own opinions and honestly simply for fun. I might be the first person to ever say it, but I actually find it fun to talk about politics. Amir Odom's presence has grown greatly in the past year, reaching nearly 500,000 subscribers as of the time of this recording. His videos average about 200,000 views, with his most popular ones about this past election typically reaching over a million. I really respect a lot of what he does. I'm thankful I found Amir Odom's YouTube channel. I think he's a bright individual who models a politically engaged citizen. Beyond his current opinions, he puts great importance on discourse, looking into sources yourself, forming your own opinions, and above all, being able to back your beliefs.
Like I said in the beginning of this whole election cycle, I don't care if you vote for Kamala, I don't care if you vote for Trump, as long as you know why you're voting for them and you feel confident in your ability to stand firm on that and back it up and really have the facts and receipts. So you know what? These are my reasonings why I feel this way and this way and this way, and that's it. Cool.
He describes himself as a moderate to right-leaning individual. He admits his bias in nearly every single one of his videos, and his identity also gives him an extremely interesting perspective on political matters.
I mean, I'm not even kidding when I tell you that I genuinely thought that thousands of young black men who look just like me, aged just like me, were getting shot and killed by the police every single year, because I was going to the BLM rallies and I'm seeing all the crime online, and I'm hearing how many injustices we face, when after a 30-second Google search, what you'll find out is that more people are getting struck by lightning than black unarmed men are getting shot by the police. Is it still bad? For sure. But the sheer amount of anxiety and depression about merely existing because of who I am that was uplifted off my shoulders when I realized that it's monumental. I'll never forget that moment. Be the first to tell you, as again, my lived experience, we have to listen to black queer voices. Right? As a black queer voice, this is not a problem to me. The things that I see in critical race theory, I do not like, I do not agree with. There are people in 2024 acting like I am living in the same day and age as my ancestors, as my grandpa, and that is not true. I agree, we need to be teaching American history, including black history, and the things that have happened to black people, so we can acknowledge how much progress we have made. But the things that I see in critical race theory, demonizing white people for merely existing and creating this inferior victimhood complex onto our black youth, I do not like.
Amir Odom's videos are long-form content, typically ranging from 20 to 60 minutes. He uses a talking head style, heavily focused on discussion rather than pure entertainment. Editing is typically minimal, with nothing but a few transitions, a few short clips, and some pictures to provide context or evidence for what he's talking about. There's no music, and the background is typically minimalistic. Like Amir Odom, I don't like to pigeonhole myself into one ideology.
As a part of a new credentialing body for teachers, we will promote positive education about the nuclear family, the roles of mothers and fathers, and celebrating rather than erasing the things that make men and women different and unique. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with positive education. The nuclear family, that's chill. That's probably the one thing I'm like, are we going to include, two dads who adopt a kid or two moms who adopt a kid? Because there are different unique families and they need to be respected, even single dads, single moms, or the households that have like the grandma or aunties living. There's more than just a nuclear family, and half the people in a nuclear family, they're divorced. So that already needs to be taken a look at, especially coming from the man that has how many different baby mamas and wives. I'm keeping it real here. Let's talk about it. 3. Because the Marxism being taught in schools is aggressively hostile to Judeo-Christian teachings, aggressively pursue potential violations of the Establishment Clause and the Free Exercise Clause of the Constitution. This one, I don't agree with, and we'll definitely have to look at, because half the Judeo-Christian people I know ain't that. Let's keep it a buck. I mean, I'm all for striving for it as someone that's non-Christian. Like, there's a lot of good teachings in it, how society probably should act and run. And I don't think Marxism is definitely that. I do not like Marxism at all, so I agree with that. But how this is laid out, I'm not a big fan. But that should be adjusted. I will go with that.
As of now, I would generally call myself a left-leaning libertarian. In an attempt to stop this video from being 2 hours long, I'll summarize it all down to this. Do I agree with everything that he says? No. Has a lot of what he said altered my opinion, challenged my thinking, or at the very least seemed reasonable to me? Absolutely. I used to genuinely think Republicans were just bad people. Do you realize how ridiculous that sounds? I thought half of America was filled with bad people. Yet, did I ever talk to a single Republican? No, I didn't. I know it sounds completely ridiculous, but that is genuinely what I thought. The people I thought were my enemy, the right, are actually almost entirely reasonable people. Even if I disagree with them on certain issues, I can't justify demonizing them like I used to. I had fallen victim to the classic trap of stereotypes. I was letting the small vocal minority sway my opinion on the masses. I knew America was polarized, and I'd say things like, we all just need to hear each other out, but I sure as hell was not hearing anyone out. I didn't participate in any civil debate. I didn't research the issues myself. I wasn't forming my own opinion. I didn't even want to hear from anyone who disagreed with me. I couldn't even back up my own beliefs. The majority of my YouTube recommendations these past few months have been right wing rhetoric because I actually find it fascinating to hear from the enemy. Ever since diving further into political content, I've begun to go into conversations with a more open mind. Instead of trying to win against my enemy, I'm trying to have a conversation with a real, complex person. I think it's unfair to simplify someone as good or bad based on who they vote for. It fails to encapsulate the nuance and the variance you can have on certain political issues. You can vote Republican or Democrat without being part of the groupthink mother brain. Plenty of people don't believe in everything that a party or candidate believes. Voters come from all different demographics and backgrounds. It's wrong to assume they're all cookie cutter, copy and paste replicas. I personally feel like I need more information before I form an opinion on someone. Are there idiots on both sides of the political spectrum? Absolutely. At the same time, people are for the most part just people. At the end of the day, we're all trying to put food on the table. I don't believe the real world is reflected in this bimodal distribution of extremes I see on social media. People are more than who they vote for. If you're ever thinking, how could anyone ever believe something like that? I suggest you go talk to someone who believes that and find out why. I'm not here to tell you what to believe. I'm not trying to tell you that what you believe is wrong. You don't have to agree with what Amir Odom believes or what I believe. Here's what I am saying. I'd rather choose to believe the world is inherently more good than bad, even if it's ignorant.